Hello everyone, we're back here at the Gamescom. Now we're going to talk with one of the lead developers for the crew, Julian.
So my name's Julian Gerighty. I'm the creative director for the game.
Creative director, all right. So just tell us really quickly for our viewers, what's the main idea for the crew? Because everything we've been reading about is pretty much, it's the same. We've been hearing the World of Warcraft of driving games. So tell us more, quickly more about it.
So World of Warcraft of driving games is a very interesting description. Basically, the crew, when I talk about it, what I say is that it's the entire USA that you can drive, discover with your friends, because it's at its heart, it's an MMORPG.
Right.
So what that means in concrete terms is we've modeled the entire USA, no loading, so you can drive from New York to Los Angeles. It's not one-to-one scale, so it won't take you 3 days. Of course. You know, the code name for the game was Route 66, right. So, you know, you're thinking along the same lines as us. And the next thing is, not only do we have this incredibly big and varied country, but everything is drivable with your friends. That means that the other cars on the roads next to you could be AI, could be other drivers, potential rivals, potential crew members. So the whole thing is based around forming crews, driving with crews, discovering the different driving adventures within the USA.
Right. So on a competitive point of view, right? So it's obviously fully multiplayer all the time, right? It's a full-on online game. What can we expect a little bit more when it comes to like an esport league? Like, is it something that you think is doable, that could be implemented within the game from the root? So, you know, you have, I understand leaderboards is maybe the easiest way to do it, but I'm talking maybe a little bit deeper. So with built-in leagues for regions, and maybe that could culminate to a broader world championship, maybe. You never know. So
there are several questions here. So the first thing is, yes, the game is about building your crew and driving cooperatively with them.
Right.
And we've got an adventure that brings you from Detroit all around the States that's purely competitive, or solo. If you want to play it solo, you can do that. But on top of that, we have player versus player. We have pure competitive. Player versus player, crew versus crew, and we've got about 70 different events, races that are purely focused on that competitive aspect. So it's a big deal for us. It's a big part of the game. So that's the first thing. It is absolutely a competitive driving game as well.
Right.
At its heart, it's multiplayer, and multiplayer means cooperation, and it means competition. Second thing is, specific leaderboards per region sounds like a great idea. And because we've got the authorization to use the entire team for a year after launch, we're going to be working on things like that. I'm not guaranteeing it.
So you might be working with Ubisoft Abu Dhabi, for example,
Absolutely.
for the Middle East.
Why not? That's a possibility. But thinking of, okay, how can we do things that make different regions competitive amongst each other and within each other? That's a great idea. So it's definitely something that we could push much more.
All right. Now, maybe the most important question that we all face and we all question in the beginning, when, especially for us in the Middle East. I mean, yes, our internet is pretty great and everything, but it's just we don't have servers most of the time. So, I mean, recently, for example, Valve just launched Dota and Counter-Strike server. So do you think, I don't know if it's your expertise, but do you think that it could start bringing even more like the Middle East into a server, becoming something more localized, so that, you know, so that we can all feel the same interaction and experience that everyone will experience in the US and in Europe in general?
So again, there are several things in the question, but the way I see it is, will we have the same sort of service for the Middle East than for the other countries and other regions? I haven't played it in the Middle East, so I can't verify that it's the same sort of experience, but I can tell you that the way that we're technically set up, where everybody's on the same server. There aren't any differences between a North American server, a European server, a Middle Eastern server, a Far Eastern server. It's all the same server. which means it's peer-to-peer connections with different things being handled by the home server and the different peer connections. So I don't think there should be any difference, but I haven't tested it yet. So I'm looking forward to you guys inviting me so I can try it out over there.
You never know.
Right? You never know.
So one final question. If you think about, I guess with all that customization for the cars and everything that you can pretty much build your car from a pure racing, drifting car into a road bashing, dune bashing monster truck. Are you guys looking into having microtransaction and starting basically selling extra, so to give more of an advantage, or is it more linked to the way you're going to play and the way you're going to unlock them throughout the game?
So microtransactions, it's a part of the game. I'm not going to lie, there are microtransactions, but there's nothing in the game on the disc that we're going to launch that isn't something that you can earn just by playing the game.
Yeah, without paying for it.
Exactly. It's more things like, I'm a daddy, I don't have 40 hours to play all of my video games, right, but maybe I want to feel the thrill of having 17 cars in my garage.
Yeah.
And it's a small cost to be able to unlock it a little bit before the time that you're going to be unlocking it within the game. It's no different from any other racing game out there.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to say to your fellow Middle Eastern competitive gamers?
To be honest, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Facebook are reacting to the game incredibly positively from the Middle East. So it's
from
definitely
the beta, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The beta was enormous as well. So I'm really looking forward to the game launching when it comes out.
All right, great. Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, cheers.